especially West African countries, are sick and tired of the stranglehold that France has on them. So it's time for France to let these countries go. These countries are no longer colonies of France. So France should let these countries in West Africa that were former colonies, they should let them be and sort themselves out. We're in the 21st century now. Colonialism should not be something we should still be talking about in 2023. He was again elected president of the student body. Now, what was it about Jesse Jackson as a young man that he kept being elected as president of the student body? There must have been something in him that people saw, there was fire in him. This is Africa, the cradle of mankind's birth, where powerful kingdoms arose with stories of worth. A youth-filled land, the youngest population, with diamonds and cocoa from its fertile foundation, exemplary leaders, their legacy told. Nkrumah, Mandela, their spirits bold. From Johnson Sirleaf's Liberia, where freedom lies, and her first female leader, so wise. Let courage and dreams unite as one for a brighter tomorrow where greatness is spawned. In this beautiful, colorful, and friendly domain, greatness awaits, where hopes shall not wane, where tales of triumph weave a tapestry. Welcome to Today in African History. Pictured here is yet another great African. This time he is a writer from the country of Cameroon, located in West Africa. His name is Alexandre Biyidi Awala, also known as Mongo Beti, born June 30th, 1932 in Mbamayo, Cameroon. He sadly died on the 8th of October 2001 in Douala, also in Cameroon. He was a novelist and political essayist. An essential theme of his early novels advocated the removal of all vestiges of colonialism. His first important novel, titled The Pauvre Christ de Bomba, which was published in 1956, translated to English, The Poor Christ of Bomba, satirizes the destructive influence of French Catholic missionary activities in Cameroon. It was followed by Mission Terminée, published in 1957, also published as Mission to Kala and Mission Accomplished, which attacks French colonial policy through a young man who, upon returning to his village with some hesitation because he has failed his college examinations, discovers himself to be not only revered by the villagers for his achievements in quotes, but also alienated from their way of life. After publishing another novel, he stopped writing for more than a decade. When he returned, his criticism focused on the colonial characteristics of Africa post-independent regimes. Main Base sur le Cameroun, which was published in 1972, translated to English, means Rape of Cameroon, a book explaining the emplacement of a neo-colonial regime in his homeland, was immediately banned in France and Cameroon. Not a surprise there, guys. Yes, someone who emerges seemingly out of nowhere and is criticizing the government, criticizing colonialism. Of course, it's not a surprise that his book was banned in France. It's a bit of a surprise that it was banned in Cameroon, but I guess at the time Cameroon was still at the behest of France. They were at their mercy. I think it's still the same thing today, with all the stuff going on between France and the former French colonies in Africa, siphoning the wealth of these already impoverished countries. I think the same is still the case today. Perhaps Cameroon is in a much stronger position, and as time goes on, France would release its stranglehold on its former colonies. It doesn't make sense that they're having to send a large portion of their wealth to France. Does not make sense whatsoever. That's why a lot of these French, especially West African countries, are sick and tired of the stranglehold that France has on them. So it's time for France to let these countries go. These countries are no longer colonies of France. So France should let these countries in West Africa that were former colonies, they should let them be and sort themselves out. We're in the 21st century now. Colonialism should not be something we should still be talking about in 2023. So let's go on to the next important person who was born on this day. His name, of course, is Jesse Jackson. He is an American civil rights activist and minister. He was born as Jesse Louis Burns on the 8th of October 1941 to 16-year-old high school student named Helen Burns out of wedlock. Jesse's biological father was their 33-year-old neighbor named Noah Louis Robinson, who was married to someone else. His mother married Charles Henry Jackson, who legally adopted Jesse, but Jesse remained close to both his biological and adoptive fathers. He grew up in a time of strict racial segregation, went to an all-black school, and was often taunted by other children for being born out of wedlock. However, he was bright and active as a child. He was selected to be president of the student body and was active in many sports. He graduated from high school in 1959 and was offered a contract by a professional minor league baseball team. However, he chose to accept a football scholarship to the University of Illinois, which was a predominantly white school. Less than a year later, he transferred to North Carolina Agricultural and Technical College, where the majority of the student body was black. Here, he played as a quarterback on the football team, and he was again elected president of the student body. And what was it about Jesse Jackson as a young man that he kept being elected as president of the student body? There must have been something in him that people saw, there was fire in him, which he hasn't lost even in his old age. Yes, I met Jesse Jackson in 2007 when he came to the United Kingdom. He came to Manchester to commemorate Black History Month, which I believe is every October of every year. So we're going to have Black History Month next month, October, which is actually this month, October. So this is the 8th of October. So this is Black History Month. I met him in 2007, which was 16 years ago. And this man's pace, his walking pace was something else. A man his age at the time, I believe he was in the 60s at the time, probably in his late 60s or mid 60s. He had so much energy. It was unbelievable. I actually took a picture with him as well, with my daughter and my mom at the time. Obviously, these are private pictures, so it's not something I should be sharing on YouTube. If it was just me and him, yes, I would have shown the picture. But yes, I did meet Jesse Jackson in 2007, and I see why he was selected to these positions, and he's an important figure that he is today, because he has a lot of charisma, he has a lot of energy, he's a very intelligent man. So Jesse Jackson, born on this day, October 8th, 1941. I'll finish by saying Jesse Jackson had an anti-discrimination sentiment. So this was a time when, I beg your pardon, anti-discrimination sentiment was at an all-time high. and Jackson became an active participant in civil rights protests against racial segregation. So you see, a lot of people during this era joined the civil rights movement. There was a lot going on, and those who were smart, those who were hardworking, those who were ambitious tended to come to the forefront. You know, the people pushed them because they saw them as leaders. They saw them as these people had there's something about these people who they felt had the strength and the tenacity to lead, to lead people in the right direction. Now, this poster is the 1984 poster when he attempted to run for president of the United States of America, and obviously did not succeed. I remember when Barack Obama became president, and the way Jesse Jackson wept, absolutely wept like a baby on that day, as well as most black men around the world who watched what was unfolding before their eyes. America had finally broken that racial stranglehold that it had from its beginnings, and a black man would become president of a majority white country. Not just a majority white country, a country that has a checkered past when it comes to racism, racial segregation, treating people who are not white with disdain, killing blacks because they wanted to be treated as equals. There's so much that went on in America, and I'm sure that was the reason why Jesse Jackson shed the tears he shed on the day that Barack Obama was sworn as president of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's the end of today's Today in African History. It's the 8th of October. It's Black History Month. So go find out as much as you can about Black history from all over the world. Africa, where its origins are, United States, where we have a vibrant black population, Europe, South America, Asia, wherever African peoples are found. Find out more about our history. It will help us as Africans. It will help us forge a way forward. Because when we see people who have gone before us, people who have done great things for the race, for Africans, it gives us courage. It encourages us and emboldens us to say, if these people can do what they're doing, I can do what they've done, and even better. Thanks for joining us. See you once more tomorrow, October 9th, 2023. If you do like what we're doing here, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and we shall see you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.